But the first thing that I want to talk about, right? I had a conversation on Twitter for it lasted about 12 hours. I think it was from Saturday night going into Sunday morning, and it was a story that came out in Barbados today called "Big Rappers Big Dream," Bajan Rappers Big Dreams with Rico Maserati, right? And Rico spoke about some things and some choices he made in his career so far, and it raised questions for me, right? So I posed them on Twitter, and not only did I get somewhat attacked for asking, but also people give their opinions, right? First thing I can say to people on Twitter, right? Some people on Twitter, right? They ask me, how can I talk about someone's life decisions? Well, simple, because I don't learn from only my own life experiences. I learn from other people's life experiences. Whether it's their triumphs, their mistakes, their successes, or pitfalls, I take what I can from what they went through, and then I can see if I can implement it into my life. Makes sense? It makes sense, right? So to some extent, loosely speaking, minding someone else's business is in some way helping me mind my own business. That makes sense? Cool. But that's not a universal thing. But if you do it in a constructive way, then you could then see how you could, model what they did. Right? Makes sense. Right? Cool. Next thing people ask me, how can you tell someone the decision they made in their life is right or wrong? Easy. Because if I know where you are in life, I know where you're trying to be in life, I know the choice you made in your life, I can then kind of accurately assess if I think it's the right choice or not. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Well, they're cool, good, but they're not. That's what it will be. People have me so cruel because it's not the people that I don't not respect, not people that I think. The people that I just think are the ones that get me upset. The people that I thought that are usually I go to for opinions and are smarter than me, going with the opinion that has the least resistance gets me very upset because I just expect better from those people to think better, and then people tell me that I'm hating and that is admirable. Like, there's something called corrective criticism. Corrective criticism is not hating. It is simply, and not even the same. If you made a,
though, you're just questioning.
It's not even criticism. It's questioning what he did. Right? It's not knocking him, but also I gotta say this too. You gotta preface things nowadays because people just want to jump down your throat, right? Rico Maserati is the first Bajan rapper to get 100,000 views on a video, which to me is quite big in these times because views to some extent is kind of like currency. Like, it's like, you get attention, you get thing, and because he did that, maybe other Bajan artists could do that as well. Bajan rappers could do that too. And also he's pretty good. He has a singing kind of rapping style like A Boogie and Drake, and he is very marketable. And I see him getting more views like that. And he got another video called Dreams Money Come By. Want to know that song from Drake, right? You freestyle? Or not?
Yeah.
Alright, say it. Alright, well, that's a big Drake fan, but he did a good job on that. So check out that video too, right? Anyway, so let's get to what Rico said in Barbados today, right? Rico said first thing he went to Frederick Smith Secondary School, which isn't really a big deal. But he said that he...
Oh my God, explain what you mean by that. It's not a big deal.
But he said it. No, that's it. He said it.
That's not a big deal?
Yeah.
Oh.
What happened? He went to Frederick Smith Secondary School. The young rapper whose name was Rico Bourne decided that gaining certificates and degrees wasn't in his plans for the near future, but his main interest was music. He said, I have 0 CXCs. I had in my mind that school wasn't the thing for me. I could have easily done work and stuff, but it was too much of a distraction. And he said, I had an idea from day one that I had liked music, but I didn't know I could have taken it as a career. So it wasn't on my mind, but it wasn't on my mind, but it came across. I don't know.
I don't understand. I read that, and I didn't understand what he meant by... He said he didn't see music as a career, yet work was a distraction. A distraction from what then?
I don't know, but I don't know if it was poorly worded on their part, on Barbados Today's part, but I don't know.
Just mean he didn't initially see it as a career. He had a passion for it, but he just
okay. He says it's a school is a distraction.
Right.
Cool. That means you're doing something that distracting from.
Right.
So that means he was actively pursuing something that would not be his career.
That don't make sense. He played out.
Yeah. I get what you mean though. From how I interpreted it, it was that he was in school and he wanted to do music, but I guess he didn't see how to. That's how I interpreted it. Although that's not what he said.
I ain't actually married.
Right. No. I just think but okay. So first thing, he said that he has no CXCs and that he doesn't plan on getting CXCs, right? Well, in the near future. His certificates and degrees aren't in the plans in the near future, and his main interest is music. Now, my first question is, if you were Rico Maserati's manager, right, would you advise him to like jump into his dreams based on what he's achieved so far, or would you tell him to do his CXCs?
I think you should always have something to fall back on. Like, for example, Shaquille O'Neal got a doctorate. Like, not an honorary doctorate. Shaquille O'Neal has a doctorate in business. I mean, in the event he's an athlete, in the event he falls on break his foot now, his career literally over. He needs something to fall back on. Suppose Rico Maserati, God forbid, get in an accident, can't talk. That's odd. But let's say that happens, then what?
But to argue that point though, life is about risk though. Like that's where life is really, you take life by, you know,
By the horns?
like horns and do thing. But so in that case, you gotta really be all in. You can't just be like 1 foot there and 1 foot here and then you
A
expect
rebuttal,
to
no.
happen.
Realistically, CNCs are not hard. I think.
Which is why you can
But
get
the
to.
thing is, we really can't say that though because it's all relative though. There's some people, I think all of us bring this argument we're discussing, like, especially in the group we're talking. They got some people in the third form that can't add fractions. You want them to do CXC math?
I think that's a
But
valid
there are other
point,
options
but
though,
that's what I'm
Julian,
saying.
other than CXC math.
No, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, there's some things that are challenging for individuals.
I don't know how
Give me
CSC Englishes work, right? But so you mean you can go get CSC English? Learn about music
but then,
well.
But then what is he gonna what is he achieving by getting CXC English? What is that doing for him? Besides just happening. Because right now that would be a distraction because he would have to go and learn how. Hold on,
You mean it's not helping him in his music career?
Yeah, because the thing is, right, is that when you have your mind set on something and you grinding, when you're trying to study something else, that's a distraction. You can't put your all into your passion and be studying something else.
So you can't be thinking about, you can't be like 70% in plan A and then 30% in plan B and expect 100% of the rewards in plan A. If that's what Julian means.
Exactly.
I get that, but at the same time, okay, another point that we gotta make too is that Rico Maserati said that he prefers to be in Barbados as an artist and not go overseas because he thinks he can really explore being an artist in Barbados and use that platform as opposed to going overseas, right? Bear that in mind, right? You got to think about where you are though. And what you said is very important, Kofi. CXCs in the grand scheme of things ain't necessarily the hardest thing in the world, right? Yeah, they're gonna be harder than for some people, but that's 6 months, 7 months that you're gonna put into like getting, I don't know, 5 CXCs, however you want to do it, whether it's 4 1 year, 4 next year, whatever. That's 6 months, right?
But
the return on investment for that, you are now marketable in society for the rest of your life, but in terms of certain jobs.
But Marcus,
right?
you think about it from your perspective. This 6 7 months, you understand? If my man went through school for so long and has no CXCs, chances are he will not be able to get through in that 6 7 months that you were speaking about. This man might probably need some years, dude. This man might need some years to be able to actually get to that sort of level that the man could get.
But I don't think, I wouldn't agree because he said work was a distraction, so he literally was.
No, but that was actually, hold on. If you go about it, you know what he says, I had in my mind that schooling thing for me. I could have easily done work and stuff, but there was just too much distraction.
That's my point.
But like, was he talking about CXCs or was he just talking about work?
So he means that he could have done work in school, but he just was distracted by other things.
That's what I'm saying. If he just would not let himself be distracted for, as Marcus says, a little 6 month period.
But no, they got people that be distracted and just coast through work, though.
It's true, but I mean, Rico Maserati just needs to take. I'm not saying take a 6 month hiatus,
right?
Even though that might be good for his career, who knows? But
or that might also kill it, dude.
True.
I don't see how 6 months doing CXCs is going to deter you from your path if you're in Barbados as an artist.
But you assuming that the man only needs 6 months to do something, and then plus,
but the way he worded that, I gather he is a smart man. He's just saying about work, which is a very true fact for a lot of people. They're just saying about work.
But okay, but then give him a year then. Let's say a year the most, right? To then get 8 CXCs, right? Or 8 or 5 to 8, because you don't really need that much in order to get a low paying job even, right? The benefits you get from that, you get for life, right? I don't remember shit in my 8 CXCs that I did, but because the ones and twos are there, people will look at them and then see me as marketable in society.
But Marcus, the man already starting the grind now. The man already pushing now. So he could get the CXCs at any point in time. The CXCs, it's not like a degree.
But this is my thing about that now. The grind, his grind. There are some people that say, right, that it's easier to handle failure than it is to handle success. And I think that his achievement from getting 100,000 views on YouTube made him somehow a bit like confident, like really confident that it's always going to be this way. As an artist, you need to realize, and especially in Barbados, that they got, what you say, ebbs and flows? I think you said ebbs and flows already. People say that, but I can't
Never heard that in life.
About you.
Never heard that.
I heard it.
They got ebbs and flows, right? They got peaks and valleys then.
Okay.
Right now he's at a peak. At the times that he's seeing valleys, right? You need to be able to fall back on something. Not saying plan B. I'm saying that plan A means that you do not necessarily, if your impact is not also reflected in your income, you can be doing your work, right, and working to get that impact, and then you will get your income from somewhere else. But the mere fact that the man didn't even do this CXCs means that he's not marketable in society. They can get a part-time job and also be in the studio at the same time.
But Marcus, the man can still get a job before CXCs be. I know places that hire people for CXCs. As long as you come there and the guy interviews you or do an interview and they like you and they see that you have a good positive attitude, they will take you on a job.
How much jobs they got me?
Oh, they got a lot of different jobs like that.
I had a job before I had CXCs.
Well, what that job is, if you don't mind me asking?
It was in Fanny's as a silver.
And what years was?
We know it then when it was going on.
Oh, you doing that all now? Me, what you doing all now?
What? No.
Oh.
I work for myself, no, though.
No, what you was doing as a little man?
Bro, there's a lot of I used to clean fish tank.
I thought what you doing that now?
No, dog. I work for myself, no.
Cleaning fish tanks?
No, I don't clean fish tanks. I work for myself. I don't clean fish tanks. I work from home, though. Right. Mama?
We can't laugh so long.
Oh, sorry. All right. So are you saying though that there are enough jobs, that the requirement is no CXCs, that you could say that you don't need CXCs anymore?
No, I don't think it will make. I wouldn't make that statement. But the thing about it is that if let's assume that he's at the peak right now, right?
Then peak.
Listen. Let's assume he's at a peak right now. He wants to capitalize on this exposure. Like he could actually use this as momentum to get him further.
But I don't think that means that he has to choose between the two. I don't think that
he has to
choose between doing CXCs and also.
But the thing is that he does a certificate and then what? He can do the certificate at any point in time, you know, Marcus.
Yeah, but
so you wait until you're in the valley to then try to.
Precisely.
You could do that.
I said that. I said that same thing, Kofi. Why would you wait until you go flat tire to get a spare? That makes sense.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
That's exactly.
But think about it. You don't understand. Like when you doing your music, when you doing anything that you have a passion for,
right?
Like when you got that motivation, you got grind. You have to push. You have to drive that.
But
you have to work when you have that there, baby.
Right, but grinding should also include some of the things that could supplement your music career, which could be getting CXCs. Because if you get CXCs and then you marketable in society, you can get a job, a part-time job. You will expose yourself to more options.
But suppose man,
so you can do both.
You sure the man doesn't have a part-time job now?
Well, we can only go with what he's saying, right? From what he's saying, it seems as though he's fully immersing himself in his music, right? But he said that he's doing this thing 24/7.
Because imagine if he already has a link though. Like how when he came to school, I didn't really want a job that sorry. I just worked for a friend of mine and then I'm gonna work for myself. I didn't want to really work for anybody. I didn't ask somebody to put a link.
Right.
But you saying so, but you got CXCs though.
I got CXCs. Wait, I'm gonna tell you honest truth, right? I'm gonna tell you honest truth. What you doing right now? If I was actually doing when I was a teenager, I would have never gone to university. I would have CXCs, but I would never gone to university.
But I can understand university, because university for a lot of people, including myself, I have to admit, was to some extent a waste of time.
But for a lot of people, CXCs don't necessarily, you don't achieve anything at any point in time. It's a good thing to have. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing to have just to say you have it there. You know what I'm saying? But like, man can literally get to at any point in time. Especially if you go back to the point you're saying that it's only 6 or 7 months.
Right.
Then if the man have a downturn, the man can take that 6 and 7 months and do it.
By saying make hay while the sunshine be, you gotta still like think about the fact that while you are young, while your career is not as demanding as it will be, because I assume that if he keeps going on this path, he's gonna get a lot more in demand and get more work. you might as well do something now so that if you get in any valleys and things get bad, that you will have things. But in my opinion, right, he has to be both an artist and an entrepreneur, right? And if you are an entrepreneur, you gotta be able to play chess, and especially if he wants to be in Barbados, right? So playing chess can mean that sometimes he's going to benefit from his music financially, other times he may not. If that's the case, he should set up himself, Cody, that if he got CXCs, that he can say, well, look, I got 5 CXCs, let me go somewhere and then let this money fund me making eventually my next hit.
Right.
But if he doesn't do that now, right, it's like, if being an entrepreneur is playing a game of chess, he basically wiped 4 of his pieces off the board and he started with 4 less than he should be.
Alright. I want to draw let me not say CNCs. Let me just say an education. Because right now he's putting 24/7 into music. But even if you're doing a music degree, you can go do business courses so that nobody can take advantage of you. So for right now, all we know, he managed to make 90% of what he's making because he just seen the views from YouTube.
Oh, so you assuming that because he
I am assuming that he is not exposed to as much education as someone who was went through formal training.
But the thing is because we don't have demand here, we can't really make these kinds of assumptions.
Of course.
Right.
This is all speculation and assumption.
Which is the real problem.
So we're only going from the article and then any assumptions that we made, we would say that they're
Yeah, for
assumptions.
all I know, this man's a business guru.
But going by what he's saying, I want to know, do you think that formal education is right in 2017, do you think formal education is optional?
I don't think it should be, no. I think there has to be a way to balance. I ain't saying go and get 12 degrees at UE.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, you should get, like, the bare minimum
a basic certification.
Right,
Right.
Just something to push you there so that, just in case, man, you just always gotta prepare for the worst.
But the thing is, I always say, you pushing it just in case. And I agree, that was good, because you should have some certificates. By the end of the day, if he knows somebody could just give him a job, if he get a downturn, what's the problem?
But no, that's an assumption
That's
too.
another assumption.
That both you are making and that he will be making. Because you can't, no job in BIM is guaranteed. No matter if you were there for 30 years, no matter if you take
Marcus, that's a lady.
That
is a lady. Once you, it all depends on who you know though. I know certain people that if I tell them I need a job tomorrow, it won't get hired.
Yeah,
they will find a space for me in their business.
They will find a space
You're
for you.
that confident?
I am telling you that. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, but what about the other person that coming up after you that they could also give your same job?
They won't.
Or the other body that in the business that has somebody else that is in your position that they want to give the job to.
But I tell you right,
you can't put all your eggs in that basket.
Marcus, I agree with you. I'm just saying that there's some people that it works like that. There's some people that all they have to do is pick up a phone and
you can't assume that. You can't assume that.
I'm telling you that you do not own the man's position. I know that. I have people in my life like that.
You should not assume that for yourself, though, Julian.
But Marcus, the reason I say you can't speak because you don't live that kind of life. You understand? You don't live that kind of life. Because hold on. Look at this a second, right? As ACO Williams, your father. If you want a job, you could ask him.
That's the exception.
No, Marcus, you don't have to be. They actually got connections. They got black people that are actually very well connected, and they work in circles, and you just don't know this. And literally, if they want something done, they make a call and it's done.
Although they are, I do not believe you should assume that, though.
I do agree that you shouldn't assume. I'm just saying if that's the man's case.
But yeah, even if that's the man's, he can't assume that. Even if that's the case too, he shouldn't assume it, right? Even if he got a job there, whatever. So I mean, because then what happened when the downsizing and thing, and then the government job cuts?
Hold on, but the thing about it, that's what I tell you. Like you looking at it from this perspective, like what happened if this and if things go bad or whatever the case is. But any day, like that's part of the risk that you take because they got some places that they might downsize and they still will not cut you. They will cut everybody else but you. They will cut everyone else but you.
But I mean that these is all assumptions that you will make in that position too, and you will go be real comfortable in that position for you to say that they ain't gonna cut you, big man. I have seen people I swore would never leave a job.
Nah. In uncertainty. It's like when you and the boss close and you was working, you know what I'm saying? He like, so you're working, other people can start to get trimmed. If they got fat that needs to get trimmed, the fat can get trimmed.
So you're saying that in some cases you should be comfortable with the fact that you got a job.
I honestly, the reason I can't go that way is entrepreneur.
Right. In this economy and that kind of thing, big man, do not take anything for certainty. That's my opinion, though.
No,
I can't assume that sign there for me all the time. Although I know people, somebody may know people, and I don't think Rico should do the same, right? But we're assuming that that's the case, even if it was the case, right? Then what's they had sign-ups that I was right. So the other thing came up too. Somebody was saying that he would go back and do the CXCs anytime. And what you said was a good point. That why would you wait? But my main thing is why. How did he get to that point that he thought that he would not need to get CXCs? No. And he just got away. And he can just do them whenever. Like, how did he get to that point? Is it because he got 100,000 views that he says that he is like, or whatever?
My thing to that is like there got some people in the world that I run envious of from birth. Them know what they're going to do. Them know what they want to do. I met a comic book illustrator at Anime Con this weekend. The man got his job he met Stanley at 17. I got a job at DC part-time in an internship program around 18. He has Beijing roots too. Which is like, he ain't really got no bigger education. The man just knew, I like drawing. I can draw.
Some people like it laugh at you though. Some people.
So I'm wondering, like, I don't know how it feels. I don't know that you just wake up one day and know what you want. But maybe this man just know I can be a rapper.
No, but the thing is, I don't got an issue with that, you know. And I all for taking risks. And him taking that risk now to be a rapper, trying to benefit from being a creative is the odds are so much against you that it's almost like you shouldn't do it, because I mean it's like the odds are so slim that you can make money make a living off of your thing, right? So I saying still that although I telling the man I believe he should go and get his CXCs when he can and as soon as possible, I'm not saying to go off plan A, you know. For some people are separating being an entrepreneur with benefiting from like a job in, you know, the capitalist thing. I don't see why. You can't do both. You can't go education and also follow your dreams.
But it's weird that people think that it's so black and white.
Honestly, it's hard to keep a job and follow your dreams.
I know of a girl. She works in a restaurant, owns a store, but she's like a waitress or a hostess in a restaurant. But a whole store in Swan Street or wherever. I mean, she still manages it well, but the money from the restaurant job or whatever benefiting the store. That's where her
right.
So that is her an additional cash flow.
Right.
So it could be the same.
But the thing is, right, is that only works for certain types of jobs or businesses you get.
You don't have to do it forever though.
Yeah, because temporary. I mean, but I saying the fact that you will actually pull that option away even the option to say I can wake up and go and get a part-time job in the meantime. That they got issue with that.
But the thing is, right?
I got issue with
when
that.
you start to pull away, fall back speed. That's what you
it's propel you to.
Yeah, because the thing about it is that you know, it's like you wake up in the morning, you know that you gotta grind.
Yeah.
You know that you need to push. You know that
yeah.
You gotta tell yourself and you need to believe that you can succeed. Otherwise, there really is nothing else for you.
So you're saying that people should not have plan Bs?
I'm not saying that. I can't say that because I'll make me hypocritical. I got a plan B.
Oh no, but you would.
I can't
say that.
In the event you got obviously gonna have drive to push yourself further because you ain't got nothing else to fall back on. Fall back is failure.
Yeah.
So you gotta move forward. Okay.
But on the other hand, I would still say that I do think you should still get some sort of basic certification. Yeah. Some sort of basic. They don't use great education.
Certification.
Because people don't even remember these stuff though.
It's true. I got CXC in chemistry. I can't tell you
that. I got chemistry, physics, math. I got physics and biology. Yeah.
You serious?
You got science?
Yeah. I was in Bradshaw. You was in King, right? You was in King.
I don't remember.
What? Yeah, I just remember that good. Okay.
Let's pause. You got the 3 sciences. I mean, you want to do psychology.
Remember what you said about it take long to find where you're talking?
Yeah,
right.
well.
So we can get into me on a podcast for sure though, because I mean, my journey is still ongoing, but I got things to talk about there. But anyway, yeah. So that's something that came up. So then another thing that came up in the conversation, right? Because this spiraled into other conversations too. We always hear that 11, like for example, okay, the conversation went, he ain't got the CXCs. That don't mean that he's stupid, right? But no one said that, right? But it did pose a good question though. Do you think that there is a relationship between, say, CXCs or an 11 plus with somebody's, I guess, being intellect?
CXCs and 11 plus.
CXCs, no, like tests like exams like 11 plus and CXCs.
Oh, I have to reflect your actual.
Yeah, your actual.
No, I can't. Because there will be some people that, as we assume Rico Mazzarri might be brilliant, but I just saying about that start to work. So like you can't. Wait, let's try what the man said. You can't test.
Like Floyd can't read, but anyway, yeah, you were saying.
Try what the man said. You can't test how powerful an elephant is by telling it to jump high.
Yeah, okay.
That's not nearly what it is. That's a similar example. You can't tell you can't tell how high a monkey could go by telling it to fly or something. Simple.
You said about fish though.
And with fish, I'm
I think
playing
it's
with
fish.
tree.
Yeah. It was a comic strip, right?
I struggle for the actual
It was
thing
the elephant, the fish, and the monkey, or something like that. And then it was like, you can't judge everybody with the same tree or that.
Right. Yeah, some clips so. But that's exactly what it is. There are artists that ain't good at math, ain't good at English, can't write an essay, therefore they fail the 11 plus. That does not mean they're dancing.
True. You agree?
Yeah, I agree with that. I can't argue with that, to be honest.
I feel they got a little correlation though. Not with people that ain't smart, but with people that smart. People that are usually smart and they pass the 11 plus and CXCs, you can gauge their intellect from that. But it doesn't count for everybody. But like
really?
But then too, Marcus, they got people that don't see but it's playing real work.
That's true.
You could be dancing, but if all you do
maybe not
is
all that
you could be stupid.
Right. Okay.
All you're doing is working. By the way, admirable. That's really admirable. And you'll get your certification, but you weren't actually at the end of the day, you're just a dancer. You're just a dancer. Man, I get what you're saying, but they got people like, for example, that went Harrison's, people that went Cormier. You know what? I can talk about she here because I can't really care. Don't question it.
Right? Huh?
Don't question it.
My first girlfriend, I want to know, right?
Wow.
Was the first time I ever saw somebody like naturally bright. Like I used to like a time I went home because being so close to somebody that is like so different from you, that's think different from you, is really opening eyes. So I remember that I had times that we used to be in the same class, sitting down next to each other, and the teacher would be talking. We would be talking to one another, right? And then when the teacher asked a question, she would respond and say what the answer is. Like, I've seen her pick up new concepts in like seconds, and they got some people that's like, when you ask those people how they did at 11 plus and CXC, they usually do good. So to say that they ain't got no relationship at all, I don't know, man.
Alright, there might be a relationship in results and brilliance, but I don't think there's a relationship between dance and results.
Okay, I can work with that. You can't tell how smart. You can't tell, man, like, what you say?
How stupid someone is from results.
Yeah, right. that was a bit brutal, but yeah. I get what you know.
Are you sure you want to say that too?
Man, there is no I think that everybody, I don't want to say everybody, I think that most people have a talent. They excel in some field.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that really truly in Barbados, we only want to know if he's a lawyer or doctor. If you want to do it, then you can suck out. So, yeah, it's true. It's very true. You can be an engineer as well. But there are other fields. You could be good at metal work, but there is a test for that. Metal work CNC. Did you pass that? Cool. But you can't look at that person who got one CNC of one in metal work and be like, oh, he's stupid. He got about one CNC. You can't do that.
Yeah,
this man is clearly excelling at what he's supposed to excel at.
Yeah, if you're looking at it in that finite box, you understand that. That would make sense.
Man, call it a finite box. But yeah.
Yeah, I get that too. And I get what you mean, man. I think it shows the people that are like naturally bright, but that's as far as it goes. It doesn't show the people that are willing to put in the hard work. It don't show the people what other people are, what else they're good at and stuff.
But does our exam really show the people that are naturally bright, or just show people that are good at recall? Because most exams, if you have a good memory, you will do well.
But then they got things like problem solving, like maths and things.
Dog, if you've done enough of the questions, generally speaking, Marcus.
Math is just
I have done exams with people, right, that they have scored much higher than me, and they just remembered everything. They literally, because they did enough questions that they just remembered it. If you change the application, they wouldn't be able to understand it. They wouldn't know what to do.
Well then, Cardi, are you foolish then? Me, I will be learning science so long, me, and then when it come in front, my like on your paper, it would just come in different words, but I'll be like, nah, boy.
Then Marcus, you might be a little foolish.
I am foolish though.
Or hold on, or you might just have a problem learning me.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I definitely.
You got ADD?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was diagnosed at 15 years.
ADD or ADHD?
Is it? He said ADHD.
Wait, which doctor this was?
The one that died.
You want that?
Selby.
That's
The one
the
doctor
same
that
man. That's the same man that diagnosed you. You know, somebody got ADHD.
Yeah.
Funny.
I still got it though. I still got it. No, I still got it.
But
No, but
Marcus?
the thing is, my ADHD makes me able to, I guess, it has its perks because the ADHD is also connected to my creativity, which is why I like creative things. Because when I'm not looking at this, my attention is in something in my mind that I'm thinking about, right? So I'm always thinking, which is why this podcast is a thing, which is why all these things is things, right? But at the same time, in school and thing, I went through a lot of I struggled with myself because I thought that I was the elephant that was trying to climb the tree. And I felt bad that I couldn't climb the tree like everybody else. And that was one thing that weighed on me. Like, up to now, I still think about that, like the fact that I don't grab things as fast as people and that. It would take a lot more for me to get to.
But the thing is,
far.
that might just really fall down to the way you learn it now. Because I could tell you, I could identify with that, I could relate to that. But I realized that I was struggling trying to study the way that they tell you you're supposed to study. You know, like sit down in a quiet place and don't have any distractions and like all these little formalities. When I started actually doing better is when I started watching shows and doing work. Like
for real?
Yes. When I started watching shows and doing my grades started doing like that. Because the thing about it is that how it ends up working for me is that the show helps me to hyper focus. Because as I go in and you work, when I stumble upon something that I having challenges with, I would end up actually forgetting the show and just zoning in the work.
I want deep boy, I know.
You never used to hyper focus?
That's all.
Nah, because now something that usually happens with people that have ADD or ADHD.
What I used to do with my ADHD though, I used to write out all my things to make me have to focus on writing, so that would not make my mind straight. So that was my kind of thing, man. That I guess that's why I get what I get.
But you never, like, the things that you were actually interested in, you never would like spend all night up, like just researching them, looking at them, just.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What else we have focus on that? If it's something interested in, and you just
yeah. Man, really went off topic, boy. But yeah, all right. So what do you man would tell? You agree with what Rico's decision to do his CXCs later on, or if at all, or you would say do them now?
I will tell you, man, that to be honest, if you pushing hard right now and things working for you, then capitalize on that. Capitalize on that. But also to know that if you don't do them now and you end up needing them later on, that decision that fell back on you. So don't complain if things rough and you need it. You still can't get through.
What I would say is, I ain't gonna tell you what to do. I don't agree with not doing CNCs now. It's your life, do what they're doing. But at the end of the day, as Milk said, if hard times come and you realize this ain't really working out, that decision was yours, so you can't really complain.
I think,
or say this body was supposed to have my back.
Yeah. Do you CXCs? I know, like, they ain't got no. I personally think you should do your CXCs, like, and I'm not saying that I agree with all stages of education, you know, but CXCs is different to me. CXCs is like basic certification, and when I look back on it, yes, it was a stressful period of my life, very stressful. I can't imagine how I did 6 subjects and studied for all 6 subjects in the space of like 3 months of doing it non-stop, whatever. But it paid off in the end because it put me in a place where now I could decide what the hell I want to do, like, you know, whatever. And not to mention, you're ridiculously young. Do them, and if CXCs are stopping you from pursuing your dreams, you're gonna have a lot more obstacles to come, because that ain't really nice to start you from pursuing your dreams. Moving on.
All right, Pastor.